Week 8, problem 3 asks us to create a motor function block with start, stop, running, feedback, and feedback configuration inputs. The outputs will include an output for the motor starter, the motor running indication, and fault indication seen here in our testing function block for our motor. We have our motor running and fault just right here carrying on. Has feedback input is a Boolean value, which is true or false. So when it's set to true, it will cause the function block to trigger a fault and stop the motor if feedback is not received within the input of 2 seconds of starting, as we have our start delay should be 2 seconds right here initialized. And if feedback is given, motor will stay on and not turn off. So if has feedback is left as default, which is false, the function block will ignore the feedback input and assume that the motor is running. So we have here our push buttons and dip switches here. I'm still trying to get the lights to figure out the work, I think, but I think my variables may be off, but I do know how it goes. So it's supposed to, so once you turn it on, once you start it and then we turn it on, we have our lights of course on, which if you push has feedback, 2 seconds will happen and the motor should turn off. In the default position, which is everything is off, then feedback is turned on, it ignores the has feedback and it will stay on. As it says in our default, it will ignore the feedback input and assume that the motor is running status matches the run output. So flipping this on and off completely ignores it. It won't even tell, and that's because the feedback is on. So flip that off, we can stop. We have our function block here. As you can see, we hit stop. We got false indications with our motor running to hit stop. With our start, we have no indication there, and our feedback is turned on. We get this blue light. We should get this blue light right there. It is right there. Then we get our motor run to turn on. So we do have our values just right up here, and that's how problem 3 runs.